with the guest quartet from up in Fort Myers. And we're going to do a little coaching under glass here for the second half of rehearsal. And it's going to be involvement by everybody. Good. Here, we're all going to join in, all right? But let's hear a song from the Notables.
Hey! I'll take on the lead the most.
Is it okay if we just do our set that we're going to do?
Sure, do your set. Right. Is it 2 songs? Yeah.
You want us to do? Okay.
Yep, just do your set.
Okay.
But it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me.
It's a melody playing a penny arcade. It's a Barnum and Bailey world, just as phony as it can be. But it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me. Without your love, it's a honky-tonk parade. Without your love, it's a melody, a penny arcade. It's a Barnum and Bailey world, just as phony as it can be. But it wouldn't be make-believe if I had all your love. Not make-believe, I got your
I asked you guys if you needed the music to pay for
Look how quick they learned it.
I know.
Awesome.
Muscle memory.
Yeah.
We're just scared of mice, that's all.
Thanks. Thank you guys for being here. Well, really appreciate that. So, raise your hand and give me one thought about either one of the songs or about the whole performance in general. Joey?
They were awesome.
Awesome.
Jordan held that note, he kicked that crap out of
Yeah, that post, huh?
Yeah, you posted that note like rock. Good job. That was awesome.
Anybody else?
So, you should have as much fun in the first song as you did on the
Yeah,
second.
I thought that same thing, yeah.
You gotta
Well,
smile.
we're gonna talk about that exact thing.
And one just technical thing, if I may. You're singing the lead on the first one, show those top teeth. That'll open up, that'll relax all this and show your teeth.
Yep.
And that sound will come
Good,
right
good.
out there.
Good.
My pet peeve. People who sing with their feet nailed to the floor. Even in the ballad, there's room to move.
Uh-huh.
You can
That's really
add
relaxed, yeah.
room.
Yep, good, 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 good.
They are all four awesome. There you go.
All right, that's another awesome.
I'm with you.
Anybody else? Henry?
Dare I say breath plan
So,
for some of the bass endings. Ba-doom. I don't know if he ran out of breath or if he just didn't want to hit it and hold it. Some of the endings that you do.
Okay.
I was listening for it because that's what I think.
Okay.
good, anybody else? I just wanna gauge the room, see what we're all listening for, see what we're all,
They sang the ends of the phrases and it cut short.
yes, all the way to the end of, so, first of all,
Yep.
there's a lot of good happening
Oh, yeah.
here, okay? There's a lot of good energy, especially in the second song, right? So this goes back to a little bit of what Steve was saying. The two songs, there were a lot of differences in performance and in overall sound and a lot of what you're doing. And not only because you switched parts, but just in general that we'll talk about. But yeah, so many great things. One of the things that stood out to me, one of the good things that stood out to me was their ooh vowels. So we need to work on some of the other stuff, but I really, really like your ooh vowels in particular. And that's a tougher vowel than what people think, because a lot of times people sing ooh with a lot of in their sound, ooh, right? And it gets into the way of having that resonance there, okay? So I really like your ooh vowels. Your e vowels are almost as good as your ooh vowels. Some of the open vowels, like ah or aw or eh or ah, that's I think where we could use some work, okay, in kind of bringing things together. Overall, I think the thing that could take you guys from where you're at now to here, like I'm not talking about here to here, I'm talking about here to here, is synchronization, getting everybody singing, and that doesn't mean singing at the same time as everybody else. That means matching your resonant space, matching what you're doing from a vowel perspective, and then also matching, doing some duetting, which we'll do some duetting here, and really matching the turn of phrase across the quartet, not just with the lead, but the baritone bass, the tenor baritone. I mean, you guys really have to like come together in sync. Right now, it's 4 really good singers just kind of staying in their own lanes. And what I'd rather hear is more of the ensemble right now. So right now, when you sing in that way, it's like 4 swimmers that are kind of in their own lane, right? Every once in a while, you're going to hit something together, and it's going to go boom like that. But it's almost by accident that happens when you're not giving more to the ensemble. So we need a little bit more listening and less performing, right? And then once we get that listening down and start to gel a little bit, then we can maximize that. Follow what I'm saying? So let's go back to the ballad.
Yeah.
I love this song. This is one of the first songs, my very first quartet that I was in. It was called The Family Forum. And it was my dad and I and my cousin Don who sang with power play. And Don's dad, my Uncle Mike, we sang, this was one of the first songs that we sang with.
You probably have met
this song.
Mac Huff, who would
Oh, yeah.
yes, me too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, great guy.
So let's just start this, and we'll go right from the beginning.
Can I make one suggestion? Can we curve a little bit more this time?
Sure.
Because they're kind of flat.
Yeah, so you can see each other a little bit.
Here we go. So little.
Weird about this song is I'm glad it's a minor key, which I'm
Yep.
glad it's, you know. It's a little,
Pretty glad.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm glad.
Yeah. So just hit that glad chord. Ready? Yeah. So Glenn, it's open, but it's a little bit far back. Glad. We need to roll that sound a little bit more forward in the mat. Glad. Glad. So I like the open part of it, but we need to roll that a little bit more in the mat.
A little more.
Glad, 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 glad. Yeah. So keep the height in it, but exactly that forward placement. Ready? Go. Yep. And right now you went a little bit and a little bit more in that glad. Yeah. Ready? Right there. Yes. Yeah. So we have root, we have fifth, and then octave. Back into that octave a little bit, and usually thirds we back into the chord, but not minor thirds. Minor thirds we keep in the sound, but you're going to have to match Glenn's forward placement. As he changes, you need to change as well. So a little bit more presence here. Ready? Yeah. So now we're still kind of in our own lanes here. We're making changes, but now I want you to fit inside the ensemble. Let the ensemble make the volume, not for individual voices.
No solos.
Okay? Yep. Just listen and fit inside that chord. Ready? Now sing I'm glad.
I'm glad. I'm glad.
Yeah, good. So let's continue that through that first I'm glad that God made little girls, okay? Same placement, same production and everything, but remember, ensemble first. Give 20% of your voice to the ensemble.
I'm glad.
Sorry, I'm just going to be picky right now, okay?
Please.
So you're waiting. You're waiting for each other to start. It's a breathe and sing, okay? Not a breathe, stop, and sing, but a breathe and sing. So this is what's happening. You hear that little stop right there? That can never, ever happen at the beginning of the song. It's a golf swing. You take it back and you come forward. You don't take it back and stop and then come forward. Ready? I'm glad. It's the way a golf swing should be. Let me put it that way.
Shut up.
I'm glad. Ready?
I'm glad that God made.
Yes, good. So the I'm glad was a great start. What happened after that? Tell me what happened.
Stop, I think.
Right. So listen. I'm glad that God. So you've got to always sing going forward, and you can't take your foot off the gas pedal. And that's what's happening. I'm glad. Right. And then if we were driving in a car right now, we would all be getting a little bit sick here. Glad that God. So it's got to be always moving forward. I'm glad that God made, on purpose, with that same production, so that same space and forward placement. Go ahead.
I'm glad that God made little girls.
Good. So you hear that difference in the overall sound is just more solid, right? It's taking what the good parts of each voice, putting them together and letting the ensemble be the one, and not the individual voices. So can we have just a lead tenor duet here? Go ahead.
I'm glad.
You're late, a little bit late.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm glad that God made little girls.
Good. Girls. Yep. So before it was girls.
Okay, more
Yep.
UH.
Just bring that out a little bit more forward. Perfect. Ready? I'm glad.
I'm glad.
Together, breathe and sing.
I'm glad that God made little girls.
Is that together? Yeah. Was it together before? Not as much, right? So, and what you need to do, Soren, and actually everybody, right? But listen to Glenn and exactly how he's delivering this. Every single turn of every syllable, right? You've got to be in lockstep with him. But it can't be waiting and then doing.
Anticipated.
You've got to do it exactly with him at the same time. One more time, I'm glad.
I'm glad that God made little girls.
Yes. Love that. Good. You got to sing girls.
Girls.
You hear the difference?
Yeah.
Good. It's almost an he's going a little bit more towards the and you're going more towards the Good. So open up just a little bit.
I'm glad. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm glad that God made little girls.
Yes. Good. Let me on that one. Good. You hear that difference right there? This is the stuff. This is the stuff that we all should be listening for and doing. We can do this. This is the stuff that people don't think that they can do and achieve because they're just not picky enough. Okay? Can we have a lead baritone duet?
I'm glad.
Behind.
I'm glad that God made little girls.
Yeah. So Glenn's using a lot more consonants, right? I need you to match his delivery. So think about when you're singing lead.
Yeah.
You knew this would come up. Okay? We were talking about this, right? When you're singing lead, you're so expressive. All of the world to me, my love. Right? You got all that expression. When you're singing baritone, it's like you're hiding behind the drapes. Right? We've got you've got to be out there in front. Okay? Be two leads. I want two leads up there.
I'm glad.
Behind.
I'm glad that God made little girls.
Good. Yeah. What do you think?
Yes.
Better? There? Was it there?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I had to look down.
there's an instrument effect, but
Just
I
think,
heard
little
the sound.
fruit.
I know that you said we have to smile. I'm just telling you feedback. I don't think we should have that shitty grin when we're talking about little girls.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean,
Happy.
it's your
Here's
daughters,
one.
it's your daughters, here we go.
Okay, but I didn't know at the beginning.
I'm glad.
I didn't know it was gonna go there.
Bass lead, bass lead.
I didn't either, I was like.
Bass lead.
Yeah, the first time I was like, I feel like it sensed it from that.
I'm glad. You overshot it just a little bit, so I'm glad that God made little girls. Yeah, so right off that g sound, you need to get right back to that root. Good. I'm glad that God made little girls. Right off that G. One more time. I'm glad that God made little girls. Yes. Yeah, that's the key to that chord right there. So that is the only thing that's not lining up. Glad that God. So make sure that is on purpose, both of you. Ready? I'm glad that God made... One more time. Listen. Just listen one time to what Glenn's doing there. I'm glad that God... Hear that little glad that... Just that little glad that, right? So do it with them. I'm glad that God made little girls. Man, I love that root 5 there on the girls. So all four right there. I'm glad. Don't be the last one in. Do not be the last one in, okay? Breathe and sing. Overachiever. Here we go. I'm glad that God made little girls. We need a second lead over here. You're retreating into the sound here, okay? Forward place, cut through the sound here. Good. I'm glad that God made little girls. Make sure you're down on that. But that is so much more together, and the sound is just going from one syllable to the next, right?
Now you're telling the story.
Yeah, and it's and you can't tell the story until all those things are taken care of, all the basics, all the fundamentals. Nobody listens to the story when they hear things that are not together or they hear things that are out of tune. All right, they can't get past that to say, oh my gosh, this makes me think about my daughter or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They can't get to that. If it's like I say, sometimes we try to frost a cake that's not done yet. We need to bake the cake first in order to frost it, right? We're trying to throw frosting on batter, and it's just not there. Bake that cake. Put in this kind of work right here. So overall, this is the magic sauce.
Put this in everything.
Right now, every single thing, you should be going, hold on guys. Every single song, every phrase of every song should go through this exercise right here. Now, we just did duets with the lead. Can we do bass baritone duet? Bass baritone. I'm glad. Yeah. So the first duet that we do without the lead, every time I coach a quartet and we do the first duet without the lead, this happens. Nobody knows when to start. Right?
Yeah.
They're always waiting for the lead. He's not singing. What do we do? Who's going to start? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the plan. We've got to start. So this is the foundation. So you guys have got to maximize that resonant space. I'm glad. I'm glad. Find your hook. Get that space. Roll the sound forward. And then turn every phrase together. Go ahead. I'm glad that God made little girls. Yes, God made little girls. So every single one, so you have God and made, that you sing really well, a lot, you're ringing your voice, but in between those and then little girls doesn't have that same placement and that same production. So you've got to set that, I'm glad, you've got it right there. Now sing everything through that same production. Don't change a thing, okay? Forward, out here. Same duet.
I'm glad that God made little girls.
Yes, made girls, sing made girls, made girls. You hear the little difference? Made, you're there.
Yeah.
Made, then you sing girls back. Made girl out front. Go ahead. Made girl. Yeah, exactly. So made little girls. Made little girls. Good. Same duet.
I'm glad that God made little girls.
Yeah. Now that's the foundation right there, right? That's the foundation. Do just that. I want to hear all four parts with that foundation. Just like that.
No, wait, everybody, don't breathe for me.
Not on a lead back, obviously.
I'm glad that God made little girls.
Good. So keep that, and you guys do your job too. Okay? Don't be affected by what they're doing. Make your sound 30% of your sound part of the ensemble. Okay? Ready? Go ahead.
I'm glad that God made little girls with laughing eyes.
Yeah. With laughing, the sound, every sound. Sometimes, and this is a baritone thing. Right, Bob? Yeah. This is a baritone thing. Sometimes, with laughing eyes and talking good. Right? We don't want to get in the way of the sound, so we don't sing the consonants. You need to double down on those consonants, just like you do singing lead on Paper Moon. Okay? So be that guy that sings as expressive as the lead does. Okay? Right from the beginning. Everybody could do that.
Yeah.
Okay? Dig into those word sounds. Yep. Space, placement, dig into the word sounds.
I'm glad that God made little girls with laughing eyes and saucy curves.
Good, yeah. Now you're starting to drag some of that good production that you start with into the next phrase. Good. All right, can we do bass tenor?
Sure.
Bass tenor.
I'm glad.
One more time.
I'm glad that God made little girls.
Okay, what are you noticing?
Tenor's a little behind.
Big bass and delicate tenor.
What are you noticing?
I don't know what it means.
The one big reason, the most important reason that we do bass tenor duet, to find what?
Synchronization? No.
Octaves, yes, octaves. And this happens a couple times. Right on glad, it happens, and then God made little girls. And so what's supposed to happen on an octave?
The higher one cracks off.
Yes, the higher octave. Now, I prefer to say it in a different way, right? Technically, yes. So the higher octave always is quieter than the, right? But this is how I think of it. When I sing, and I sing it on octave, my job is to just create the space for that lower octave overtone to come through my mouth. That's it. That's it. Do you ever see someone demonstrate on a piano where they just lightly take the hammer off the piano, right? And then they play the chord down here, and all of a sudden you hear that note play up here? Yes?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what is going to happen anyway. If we're singing it correctly, that note, the higher octave, they're going to produce that note anyway. So the only thing, if that note's being produced already, the only thing we can do is screw it up. If we're singing that, right? We can only make it worse. Because if it's being produced, then it's being produced perfectly. That's exactly in tune. So, I'm glad.
Like height off.
Yeah, and you would be surprised how little really we need of the higher octave. Okay, here we go.
I'm glad that God made little girls.
Yeah, so everything else though,
Come on,
we need a little bit more. Keep that forward placement. Kind of match a little bit of the space. So Alan's got a lot of space. He's creating a lot of, right? So you need to match a little bit more of that.
Okay.
I'm glad.
I was just scared of what he might do in my mouth.
Okay, here we go. Ready?
I'm glad.
Nope. Breathe together, sing together.
I'm glad that God made little girls.
Yes, good. Yeah, a lot better. Right? In the chord, it's even going to sound way, way better. Sing all four parts.
All skate.
So you know your job, right?
I'm glad that God made little girls.
One more time. Just maintain that good, yep, and then roll it forward a little bit more, Glenn, but keep the height in. 30% to the ensemble. Ready?
It's so strange for a lead to
Yes.
listen.
Yes.
You know,
So listen.
Not to listen to the group.
Yes. This is everyone needs to understand what Glenn said. This is something that we're not historically we have not been taught as lead singers to be part of the ensemble. So much so that show me how you stand in the quartet.
How do I stand?
You know, as a quartet,
Oh, yeah.
right? So usually, you see what happens?
Yep.
The leads, like they show you, we're a half a step ahead of everybody else, and everybody else is back here.
Yeah.
We're the melody, and everybody else is backing us up. To me, I think we do ourselves a disservice when we do that. This is a four-part harmony. This is not one part and three parts.
Everybody has
This
to
is
listen
four
to
parts.
each other.
Exactly. And leads need to be part of the sound.
Yeah.
But we're not taught that.
No, not for 40 years.
Exactly.
So the lead has
Yeah.
to listen.
We are not taught that. So I know it's not intuitive for a
No.
lead to do that. But I want you guys to breathe into that big space. I'm glad. And then, keep the height in and bring it forward and listen. And end parts, you know your jobs, right? Go ahead.
I'm glad that God made little girls.
Keep going.
With laughing eyes and saucy curls.
Yeah, so why are there tuning issues? Tell me why there are tuning issues. Like on that
Scooping?
balance would be one thing.
Vowel.
Vowel is the key. Okay? And you do this in this order, once you've established your resonant space and you have that forward placement, so you've got your sound, you're ringing your sound, in order, it's vowels, balance, tuning. So we need to match that curl, girl, that earl sound, which is the hardest vowel to match in barbershop, the girl or curl. Right? Laughing eyes and saucy is it earl, right?
Right, so many choices.
How many choices are there? There are a lot, right? So, can we just sing Glad That God Made Little Girls and just hold that first girls chord? I'm glad. Make sure you're down on the lower side of that. We've got to know it's minor, okay?
I'm glad that God made little girls.
Just you three? Yeah, you hear where you need to be?
Yeah, more
so,
R, really.
Exactly, a little bit more rather than
Yeah.
You're opening a lot.
That's what I have to do.
right? So you got to come a little bit. These three were matching pretty well. So once you did that, then did you hear the tuning that was perfect to it? And it's because your ears, once you match a vowel, your ears can do their job. So now get to curl, laughing eyes and saucy curl, and hit that same vowel. Ready?
I'm glad that God made little girls with laughing eyes and saucy.
Laughing eyes, da 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 da. You got a case of the Sharpsies tonight. Yep. Da 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 da. Okay, ready? Here we go.
I'm glad that God made little girls with laughing eyes and saucy curls, and I'm so glad He gave me
Yeah,
you.
so it's the first time we get to an O vowel, and I'm so, and I'm so. Yeah, let's get the out of your O. I'm so glad, right?
Oh, yeah.
So a little bit more,
A little more operatic.
a little bit more toward the oo
Yeah.
than
I'm
so. Yeah, that's going to really blend a lot more.
Okay.
Okay, so get right to the
I
O.
will do that.
Ready? Go.
From where, from the beginning?
From the beginning.
I'm glad that God made little girls with laughing eyes and saucy curls, and I'm so
Ready? I'm so. Yeah, so you're going to have to adjust. The more open you are up front, the harder it is to match. I'm so. If you get in there, I'm so. Right?
Yeah.
I'm so. It's just O and oo, not O.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you sing
Otherwise, there's too many choices.
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm so. And I'm so glad. Yeah, I'm so. Make sure you're on the top of that. So, one more time.
Yeah.
One more time through that and get to that O. Make sure it's minor.
I'm glad that God made little girls with laughing eyes and saucy curls, and I'm so glad He gave me you, little girl.
Yeah, you adjusted right because you knew, right? Did you hear that? Little girl, little girl. Yeah. So these are the things that you need to clean up. It's not the sexy work, right? It's not the yay stuff, but it's the stuff that when you can master it, like each time you sing that first phrase, now do you notice that? Each time they sing that first phrase, it's solid, like it's not regressed at all after establishing that sound. That's why it's so important to establish it in the beginning, but you still have to work every phrase. Because even if, and this is important, even if you're singing the same vowel as you were singing earlier in the song, there are so many ways to arrive at that vowel. You're coming off of a different note. You could be coming down onto that O vowel, or going up to an O vowel, or coming off of a different consonant. Right? So it changes how you arrive. So you got to work every single vowel as it comes. You can't say, hey guys, we've mastered the O vowel now. We don't have to ever work on that. It's good for every song we sing. No, we understand where it needs to arrive, but
The execution.
exactly, you need to work that in every instance. Now, we haven't gotten off the first page of this song, right?
Yeah. But
So
It's gonna help.
Exactly. It doesn't take as much time as what you think just to go through this. So make sure, and we have time for one more duet. And this is the craziest duet, but it also can be one of the most important. If you can master the tenor baritone duet,
I love it.
then you're in business. But I apologize to everybody in advance. Listen to a tenor baritone duet,
Including apologizing to the tenor.
Okay, let's see about the now. I'm gonna be picky here. Get back into the. Okay. So, this is how I would rather you do duets. Okay, you guys stay right where you're at. You guys come out here, and don't move. And you sing just like this. Don't sing at each other. Sing exactly as you are in the quartet. Why are we doing this?
Sound placement.
That's how you're going to hear. That's how they're going to hear the tenor and the baritone from stage. We do this a lot, right? When we're singing, we never ever sing this way.
That's right.
Ever. Only in rehearsal. And then we come back out here and wonder why it sounds different. Because, right?
Great.
So, here we go, right there. I'm glad.
I'm glad.
So, this is the worst duet for starting. Every time. Because it's like the lead and the bass are not there. Yeah, who's going to start? I have no idea. I'm in follow mode. Go ahead, both.
I'm glad that God made little girls with laughing eyes and saucy curls.
Just sit down a little bit on that. Maintain the same vowel through each move. Right from the beginning, one more time.
I'm glad that God made little girls with laughing eyes and saucy curls.
Yeah. Now that was good. That was good. Once we maintain that, we've got to keep consistent. Consistency is the key. Consistency throughout our range. How high we sing, how low we sing, how loud we sing, how soft we sing, and no matter what vowel or word sound we're singing. Staying consistent throughout all those things that are pulling us away from our best production. Okay? Now, this should be the best run through right here. Give 30% of your sound, including the lead, to the ensemble, right?
Yep.
Maximize your resonance space, pure vowels. Okay, go ahead.
I'm glad that God made little girls with laughing eyes and saucy curls, and I'm so glad
good old. Yeah, so when it is major, we've got to make sure, especially because of the minor start, we've got to make sure that it sparkles.
Okay.
So in just a little bit of time here that we've worked on it, I think their sound has gone from four guys that are just kind of singing in their own lanes, and good voices, singing well, right, obviously, but just those little things that we can do to bring the ensemble together, then it's the ensemble making the sound, and that's where we get the synergy from, where four voices sounds like seven. Right? You hear that a lot about barbershop music, about barbershop quartet. It sounds like there's more than four voices singing. That's because when we can maximize all those things and match our vowels and sing with a forward placement, we attach our resonance onto the next guy, and it becomes 1 + 2 = 3. That's why it sounds so big, full, and connected, and ringy, and in tune now. I just made a couple little comments about intonation, but other than that, we didn't work a lot about tuning. We worked about matching vowels and matching our resonant space. That's the key.
Yeah, that's
right there.
big for us, because we're not in tune, this tune.
Yeah, you're going to chase that.
Yeah,
That's
forever.
a elusive thing if you start chasing tuning. You go back to space, placement, vowel, balance. That's all you should have to work on. Once those things are done, your ears are good enough to tune
That's all?
the chord. Yeah, that's it.
You got it
That's all.
Goodness.
But I know we're out of time, but thank you guys for coming.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Mike.